있으니까 제발 그만해. 이 모든 일들의 근원은 나니까 나 스스로 그만둘게. You can lead a horse or a Korean rapper to water, but you can't make him drink. That's an old saying, I think. What's up, guys? My name is Comedian. What else is new? I'm back on this, the hot seat. The hot seat, it technically is a hot seat because I have to turn the AC off for recording and, oh, it gets swampy in here. Ugh, sorry, oversharing. But yeah, I'm back in this horrible gaming chair to do another BTS reaction. This time a solo BTS reaction. It's Agust D or Suga of BTS, who I'm trying to remember and learn his name and his face as a little baby face Agust D, little baby face Suga, coochie coochie coo. But yeah, this is a song I have had repeatedly recommended to me quite a fair amount in the past few weeks. Ever since I started doing more rap line stuff, people were like, well, if you like rap and you like mental health and contemplating what a tragic, abominable state yours is in, then you'll love this song. So yeah, that's why I'm here. I'm here because you guys have asked for it. I'm interested in it. I'm really curious to see about this. This is supposed to be a mental health bopper, complete, dance room filling, mental health languishing, anguishing, painful thing, the kind of thing you want to go to a rave and just headbang the tears out of your skull to, hopefully. So yeah, that's what I'm here to do. Right before I do that, I want to thank some of you who recommended this. More importantly, I want to thank Teiku Boki on Twitter, who suggested that I react to this specific lyric video. This one is supposed to have better lyrics than some of them, which, is a problem. So if you guys disagree and you end up thinking this is a really bad lyric video, then you know who to blame. No, I'll take the fall for it. Don't worry. Leave poor Teiku Boki alone. I'm sure it's great. And on YouTube, I want to thank Paula Rama. I want to thank You Can't Spell Love Without the lol. And lol isn't me saying lol to the name, that's actually in the name, although it is a funny name. And I want to thank Miss Midorino and everyone else who suggested this. Don't forget, if you want to tweet at me on Twitter and be like, listen up, you silly sausage, this is the reaction video you want. This is the lyric video you want. It's at Comedian Reacts. Same thing on Instagram, TikTok, all of that crazy newfangled social media stuff. Whoa. Yeah, so let's do this. I am in the mood to think about my mood. Ooh, bass. Very somber start. Ooh, I love this beat so far. Well, this is filthy. I am really excited to see where this goes. The hidden side of a well-known idol rapper. These do seem like quite well-done lyrics translations so far. Thank you, Ty Cook. I've forgotten, but thank you. No, wait, that's rude. I'll look it up. Where was it? Twitter. Taiku Boki. Thank you, Taiku Boki, and sorry for saying your name wrong, almost certainly. Ooh, okay. OCD as well. Depression and obsessive compulsion relapses again. And this beat is like, it's like a funeral march. It's like, it's like the beat that comes in when Django goes back and kills everyone in Django Unchained. It's... Oh, already deep concepts coming in here. Let's have a look at that one again. A weaker side of me stands there. A weaker side of me stands there. No, it might be my true self. Now that is something I can relate to infinitely, because I don't know how many times I'll be like, this isn't the real me. Like, the real me is the person that, the state of being I manage to achieve about once every 8 years, where I feel really happy and calm with myself, and I feel outgoing, and I feel, really quite social, actually, and really outgoing and friendly and talkative and stuff. I would like to believe that's the real me, but then sometimes I think, well, evidence suggests the real me is who I am most of the time, and that is kind of, more emotionally flat, more anxious, less outgoing, more afraid to make connections with people, to talk to people. Yeah, I don't actually believe that. I think, for positivity's sake and for moving forward momentum's sake, I have to believe that, the happy person, the outgoing person, that's the real me deep down, which gets covered up by everything else I have going on. But I completely understand this train of thought, It's like, well, what use is it obsessing over this idea I have of my true self when the person I keep being on a day-to-day basis is so different? That's a very deep concept 20 seconds in. My head hurts. Wow. Well, let me just tell you, Agust D or Suga, my head hurts whenever I listen to the stuff like this. I think that's the same thing with dang, with with I love their onomatopoeic names. And now the last, this kind of song makes my head hurt, but in the best way, because it's like, how did that person just expose me like this? Just expose the inside of my brain, and without even the nasty business of ripping somebody's skull off first. Just reached in there psychologically. Wow, yeah. This is so good. This is genius. Sometimes I scare myself, and I can relate to that. I've actually been looking into OCD more recently because I think I might have some of those tendencies, but like I so appreciate the self-scaring stuff, because when you get wrapped up in negativity, your mind can go to very dark places, and even though it does not represent you at all, you can start getting scared, like, you know, do I actually have these thoughts? And sometimes, especially with OCD, your brain will literally deliberately push controversial thoughts to you, or kind of like horrible thoughts, like nasty thoughts. It's almost like your brain trolling you, like being like, oh, you think you're a good person? What about this? And you're like, that's not me, you know, and it makes you like doubt yourself and become scared of like, you know, whatever's deep down there. But it's just nothing. It's a fear of the dark kind of thing. And I love the way he's putting this in his lyrics. That's his real name, I think, and that's genius. This is so heavy, and I love it. Heavy, the beat is heavy, but like, emotionally speaking, like, I love how every time you guys are like, oh yeah, check this thing out, it's about the thing you mentioned, you'll like it. I'll be like, okay, and then it'll just be so much better and deeper than I expected. Wow. Like, artists, there's songs about mental health, and then there's this. There's this. This is more than just a song about mental health. This is mental health and a song around that. It's just, I'm so excited about this. What other person is singing about the psychiatrist? Honestly, I hate that taboo we have in society, but what other person is singing about psychiatrists? Oh, mate, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry to hear that. I hope that they've turn around now, or that you have a better relationship with them, or you're more comfortable with who they are as people. But that's horrible. You know, I can appreciate that because I have a complicated relationship with my parents, but you know, and sometimes it's not even like their fault. It obviously varies depending on the situation, but a lot of times your parents, when it comes to mental health, they'll react in a way that isn't helpful. It's quite damaging, it's quite toxic, and it might not even be their fault. It might be something that society told them, that their parents passed down to them. That is exactly the problem with mental health stigma, and why we have to destigmatize it, because it can make the people who most care about you, the guardians, the ones who are supposed to, you know, lead you in this world, show you the light in the world, help you find out who you are, and you know, the people who will run to you and help you if you have a broken leg, they can then just turn around and treat it in the worst possible way if you have a broken brain, if you have something going on in your head. Like, that's the worst they could say to you. I completely get what he's saying here, but I also, to anyone else out here who's going through this, I'd like to think, and this is the thing I've been thinking about recently, I'd like to think that your friends actually do know you the best. And I don't mean that in a way like, because some people will be like, oh, well, sometimes people turn out being serial killers and their friends never knew. And that is, you know, obviously deep down the person involved knew they were a serial killer. So that's not, you know, that's not really a thing to worry about. What I'm talking about is people who are scared, like, I don't know who I am, or like, you know, I don't know what kind of person I am. Ask your friends, because if you've shared with them and you're honest around them and you're empathetic with them and open with them, they know who you are and they can tell you, and you can believe what they say. Wow. I have so much respect for him putting this in a song. I mean, I can say for myself, I think I'm quite grateful. I've had like thoughts along those lines, I guess, or it's more like paranoia, like, well, you know, what if, you know, it's 15 years from now and I still haven't found happiness? Like, what if I just gave it all up then? But that's more just like paranoia and anxiety, like baseless anxiety. I've never specifically had an internal desire to kill myself, I don't think, which I'm grateful for. For all my other issues, I'm grateful that I don't have that problem, because, you know, I can't even imagine what that must be like. And I so respect him for putting that in his song. I don't give a shit, I don't give a fuck. So my camera is slightly concealing these lyrics. Why did they have to put them on the right? But they're great. It's a good translation, so all right. I so respect. I can't even imagine going through all this stuff, all these mental health issues, and then playing to crowds that they play to. Like, that must just play havoc, you know? Like, this is a silly comparison, but, you know, like, I've done, like, you know, I've performed on stage before, I've done improv before, and, you know, like, that can do a number on you. Like, when you're depressed, like, I used to have all these feelings, like, I think the big thing for me was, like, I would perform, and then, like, a big part of performance for me used to be, like, the seeking out, like, the high of hearing people laugh at your jokes. And I stopped feeling feelings when that happened. It was more like conceptual, like subconsciously, like, oh, that's good, they laughed, but not like a rush. And this is different things. I'm worried that, like, I'm suddenly talking about myself for no reason. But all I'm saying is, like, you know, I used to struggle with that, performing to, like, I don't know, 50, 100 people or whatever. I don't know, probably not even that much. Whereas this, like, this guy's performing to, like, tens of thousands of people. I just can't even imagine, like, but I so respect him for talking about it. Please stop exposing me with every single lyric. Thought success would compensate for everything. The amount of times in my life I thought, oh, if I just get this job, if I just do this, if I just make this video, then I'll be happy. Nope. A rap monster, except, actually that's copyright already. This lyric, like, he says it so fast, but it's so deep, you can't, even if I spoke Korean, I wouldn't be able to process it. It's just too much genius and, like, meaning and metaphor in one sentence. I exchanged my youth with a monster called success, and he wants more wealth. I mean, again, this translation's fantastic. Thank you so much to, who is this? Jion, I love you so much. But yeah, his words, I exchanged my youth with the monster called success, and he wants more wealth. Think about that. Even without thinking about the implication of it, it's genius. Like, just the imagery there, exchanging your youth for the monster called success, because youth is a very real, tangible thing, which everyone wants. Like, you know, our society very much, like, fetishizes the concept of, you know, being young, of being happy, of, you know, being kind of careless, really. Because I think I associate being an adult, like growing up, but getting older, with kind of, with a loss of ability to kind of ignore the stuff in life that's troubling. Or I don't even know if it's like, I'm not saying it's a good thing. Like, I think it's probably a bad thing, but I think the younger you are, the easier it is to live life in a bubble. And I'm not a sort of person who stigmatizes bubbles. I think we need bubbles to live in. I don't think everyone, it's like how I don't judge people who read, like, you know, no news, as long as they care, because sometimes the news is just destructive and it can, like, ruin your mental health, and you might not even, you know, and it's stuff you can't usually do stuff about. There's a difference between, like, you know, caring and then thinking to yourself, like, I can't take all this external stress on right now. And this for me is that kind of same thing. Like, I exchanged my youth with the monster called success. Like, he's exchanged something tangible, real, that people do highly value in our society. Or not in our society, I think naturally people value youth, because obviously, you know, most people, unless, you know, during the good times in life, and most people all the time want to be alive all the time. Most people are terrified of death. Most people don't want to stop living. That's why this concept of youth is so important, because when you're young, that's one of the bubbles you can be in, is an ignorance of death. That was, for me, my quarter life crisis was very much being like, oh shit, I am going to die one day. That's going to happen. Until the age of, like, 25, I was like, I shall be young forever. And then 25 came and smacked me over the head with that notion. But yeah, so you have this real thing that actually matters with this fake thing, success and wealth, this thing that, you know, it means something, but it isn't real. It's not tangible. You can't take this with you. It doesn't mean anything on a spiritual level. And it's such a powerful thing to say you exchanged your youth for success and wealth. But then the kicker is he wants more wealth. The success monster wants more wealth. But what does it come at a cost at? Youth. So it's almost like saying he's scared of getting older and older and losing more of his youth. For what? For what? Like, these guys are already so rich, they don't need any more money, but he wants more wealth. And I wonder if this is a reference to, like, the machine, maybe the company he works for, or just the industry he's in. But man, I could make a 10-minute video about just that bar. It's incredible. And now he's spitting. Okay, and I like that he's admitting it was his greed. That's interesting. I respect everything he's saying. It's so honest. His pitfalls, his everything. My greed was my weapon. Put a chain on me. Wow. They want me to leave the garden. Is that, like, close friends saying, you know, this is bad for you, you need to, like, quit BTS, or you need to, like, stop chasing this fame, stop chasing this wealth so much? That's interesting. You can lead a horse or a Korean rapper to water, but you can't make him drink. That's an old saying, I think. And it's true. Like, I've had friends, you know, I try and help my friends as much as I can, and I try and put myself in their shoes and give them life advice if they want it. But sometimes, you know, you can know in your mind what you truly believe to be best for your friend or whatever, and you can tell them a million times, but it won't change anything. And at a point, you have to realize, I need to stop telling them this. It gets obnoxious after a while. You have to let people live their own lives and make their own mistakes. If my unhappiness is your happiness, I'll willingly be unhappy. Wow. Wow. Gunshot to punctuate what was really quite an incredible lyric. Oh, okay, it gets heavier. I actually feel like I prefer the beat at the start. Like, there's something, I don't know. We'll see where this goes. But I bet these lyrics are about to kick up. Ooh. Interesting concept. I feel like this almost goes against what he's been saying so far. I get it. Like, with the only life you have, live it wilder than anyone else. Anyone can live passingly. I understand that. And I don't think he's being judgmental here, but you have to be very careful when you say this kind of stuff, because I wonder if he's going to justify this later, but very often the people that people might look down on is like, oh, they're just living sheep lives. They're just living lives happily in front of their TV, consuming media, you know, not doing anything for themselves, not making a name. And it's like, but for some people, that's more than enough. And often those people, they're content with who they are. They're usually the happiest. They don't feel the need to try and make their mark on the world because they're just happy already by definition. Some people define the idea of happiness by like, well, I have to achieve this to be happy. But it's interesting because he's already made the point that doesn't give you happiness. So I wonder where this is going. My address is an idol, like his destiny, I guess. Like, as in, like, this is who I was born to be, which is interesting because I do feel like that. I do think there is a sense that some people are just born to be stars, he said nervously. Now comes the flexing, which is essential in every rap song, let's face it. Hold your head up with pride. I like that he's telling his fans, like, you can be proud of supporting me, because he's proud of who he is. Oh, the swagger. A single hand gesture, tens of thousands of people's heads nod, and that is very evocative of, like, kind of like Roman emperor imagery, you know? That is power. I think the person on Twitter said that was like a TV show. I love this. The root of my creations is because I had a taste of the word sweetness, bitterness, and even a taste of shit. So it's like, this is true, like, to be a poet, to really speak, you know, to speak on nature and to speak on love and emotions and everything, you have to know all of it. You have to know the good and the bad. You know, you can't, I don't think you can't really make something deep and meaningful if you don't acknowledge the good and the bad, and if you haven't been through everything. I did not know this. I actually had to look over my camera for the lyrics. The accident that was to crush my shoulder when I was delivering pizza or whatever. I think someone mentioned that in my comments. Who do you think you're acting like you had hardships in front of? Or this sentence is a little more unclear. What is axe? Like the spray, or is that something else in Korea? Love that. Single hand gesture. Resentment gave birth to me. That is a strong statement. Now, I don't know who the you guys is. Not that you guys didn't betray us, but you couldn't. And I think shit here means like spit, maybe, or you couldn't do the thing. You couldn't do the do. I don't know the context of this. You guys will have to help me out with this one. Wow. I am blown away, honestly. Like, it's not like I was like, this will be an average ditty about mental health, but like, it's just so much more than I could have imagined, and that is what I love about BTS. They always bring it. It's always a next level. It's always stacking those bricks higher than you could have imagined. They always push that glass ceiling. That was incredible. And I actually, like I said, I think my favorite part of that song was the first half. Like, I get the anger and stuff and the rage in the second half. It's quite evocative and it's quite emotional, and it really paints a very clear picture of like, it's almost like a rebuttal maybe. Like maybe the second half is like, you know, the angry, like negative version of him, and the first half is the more somber, reflective version of his voice. But I identified so much with that song, and especially the first half. Like, it's, you know, these are really difficult, troubling, you know, nuanced, complex, stigmatized, heavily stigmatized concepts, and he breaks them down in just like I said, you have lyrics there that it's just 1 or 2 bars, and I could spend 10 minutes talking about it. It's incredible, and the whole song is packed with that. It really is incredible. I'm speechless again. Really. It's one of those songs where, like, it makes me want to learn Korean, because, like, if I just listen to that just on Spotify, on my speakers, you know, we don't have hologram technology yet. You know, iRobot lied to me. We don't have hologram VR technology to like project the English lyrics in front of my face as I walk around. Probably only about 2 years away, let's face it. But we don't have that yet. So like for me, the experience for this song is to sit down with the lyric video and read it, and the lyrics are incredible. Yeah, I honestly, I don't know what else I can say about that, but thank you so much, guys, for recommending that. I can see why you were so incessant, you were so insistent that I should definitely react to that. I'm glad I did. Let me know what I should react to next. I think I definitely want to react to some more of the vocal line, so if you guys are into that, let me know what you want me to see. If you're a new viewer, obviously, please do subscribe if you feel like it. Like the video, comment, bell notification, blah, 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 blah. All that stuff. Hope you guys are all doing fantastic. Hope this video wasn't too heavy. It'll all be okay. We're all in this together, etc., etc. Hope you're having a great day. And remember, if you like my reaction to the last, then click that subscribe button and click it fast.